Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 13th round of the BareBones Racing Series here on FRN. Hello, everyone. My name is Anthony McCurry. Alongside me is Jessica Shelton for tonight's race. Thank you for joining us for tonight's race. It should be a good one. 88 laps here at Michigan. Jessica, thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you this evening.
Yeah, well, we got a hurricane raging and we got COVID-19, so, what better way to spend your day than to do broadcasting, right? Especially when there's a championship coming to a head with one race left, and it's going to be really, really exciting with how close the points are from the pretty much top five, since Dante unfortunately did not race last week, I don't believe, because we didn't see him on the race results of Infineon, but last race was Infineon, and Jeff Supka won that. And Grant Wesley currently is leading the points, but just a slim amount over second place Sean Prime.
That is true. Trucks have rolled off onto the racetrack. We are getting ready to go green for tonight's event. As your points come into this race, we have Grant Wesley leading the points, as I think you said. He is 3 points ahead of Sean Prime. Robert Baucom is 5 points behind of Wesley. He is set in third in the standings. Josh Metallic and Jeff Zupka come in fourth and fifth. And then Dante Ritchie, as you said, missed last week's start and is now 71 points behind first place. So we'll see if he can maybe gather his way through this point standings and maybe finish out the season strong.
And we have Bob Seminaire and Tim on the front row here, and like with all the other series, the people who are racing the championship from Grant, Sean, Prime, Balcom, Metallic, and Supka and Dante, they have to start their way from behind and try to work their way forward as we get ready to go green, Anthony.
It should be fun to see them come up through the field. Pace car has come off the racetrack. It's in the hands of Bob Seminara, who had the fastest lap in qualifying. We are underway here in Michigan. 88 laps. Seminara gets away nice and clean behind them. The 13 and the 27 are nose to tail, but as they go into turn one, everything looks clean throughout the first 5.
And they're side by side back here, and with Michigan, it's going to be all about draft and all about positioning. And right now, they're coming off of turn 2, very clean. There's no issues whatsoever. A little bit single file back here at the back. Sean Prime running back here. Single file with a couple of the other playoff contenders. They're just minor P's and Q's as everyone goes back into turn 3 and getting ready to come into 4. It seems like they're side by side, many rows back here, but it looks like they might be trying to go single file up near the front, Anthony.
They are indeed, and down to the inside goes Dave Melson in the 13. He has got the draft from the 712 of Seminara. Now, I was observing these trucks in practice, and it seems like the low line is going to be the preferred line around this racetrack. The middle groove can work, and it should come in later on in the races. Melson gets a little bit loose off of 2. They have said that the tire wear at this track has been an issue, and we should see lap times significantly slow down after the first few laps. The pit window tonight is anywhere between 20 and 24 laps. That being said, tires might force these drivers to come down a little bit early. That's the fuel run, but what do you think we'll see if they have to come down for tires? Do you think that that's going to play a factor into this race?
Well, I'd be more concerned about going to a corner with really, really, really low tire wear and going in. Pushing up, trying to save it. Because, I know you haven't raced online in a while, Anthony, but if you remember, when your tires start wearing out and you go into a corner, it wants to push up and you just can't control it. So, as much as they want to run out the fuel window, I'm sure they really will probably pit a little bit earlier to get those fresh tires so they can actually maintain and hold a position and hold a line going to the other corners so they don't push up and wreck and accidentally possibly take themselves out of playoff contention if a playoff driver is involved.
That is a very good point. It's almost worth coming down for tires to gain speed on track. As you see, the outside line not playing very nicely to Seminar as he gets shuffled all the way to 5th. Tim Nosker takes the lead on the low line, and he's got the 13 of Melson right behind. Third place will be Andre Mangian. Now let's go back to the back of the pack and let's see if we can find our chase drivers. There's last week's winner, Zupta, running in the 27th position, having a steady run so far. He is right now he is fifth in the standings, so he's running up here. Behind him was Ritchie in the number 84. He's back here. These two are running towards the back of the pack still. It's very early on in the race, so we should look forward to seeing them come up through the field. There's the
Yeah,
long line.
if you notice though, back here in the back, they're trying to they got a little gap from like the main pack, and they're trying to run it close, if not almost single file, while the whole front end up here are running side by side. I think it's in a way a little bit smarter. It looks like front the front 8 or 9 have actually got single file now that Tim has gotten the lead from Oh, it looks like Dave Melson's moved up for it. Looks like Bob Seminara's falling back to 8th now. But it seems like they're side by side most of this race, but the front and the back, they're trying to be very careful, I'd imagine. It looks like they're trying to mount a charge up here on Tim. It looks like the 72 of Jim Glowden trying to mount a charge here, trying to get third away.
Nelson to the lead of the race. That low line seems to be the preferred line, is out the outside. You see the 88 back there of Nosker falling back falling back. Now he's being challenged for third place by the 72 of Jim Gloud. And to the bottom comes the 43. That would be the 43 of Richard Martin, who takes the position away. Moves up.
Yeah, you're talking about how the bottom's preferred. You know, when it comes to Michigan at the tire wear, I'd be almost scared to stay on the bottom for very long, because if it were me, I'd try to run the middle of the higher groove to save some tire.
It's really a balance because you don't want to lose too much time while on the track. So if the middle and high line are losing so much time, it's almost a bad trade-off. You may gain a couple extra laps on your tires, but is the loss of track position worth it in the long run? And that's a strategy that maybe some of these teams are thinking about. Maybe going up to the high line, saving their tires for a longer stretch. Would the lap times be conducive to do that? And as the track evolves over time, do you think that maybe that's something that some of these drivers are going to start doing, especially deep into the run?
Well, when the tires start wearing, they will start moving up higher. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. They'll start moving up, because I believe that inside line is where all that wear comes into play at, and they're just going to move up higher, because I mean, when you're about to go with your tire and it's about to pop, you want to be as close to that wall as you can, unless you pitted earlier on, so you don't wreck and pretty much blow out the tire and just hit the wall and take other people out with you. But while we're doing this before the next, I think we'll be pitting in like maybe 10 or 12 laps, probably, for tires and fuel. I want to take a moment real quick early on to mention about the Challenger Series that's taking place. It's the series within a series for the non-chasers, I should say. Andre Rayum currently leads that battle going on, 8 points ahead of Andre Cheris. Glenn Harris is back in third, 26 points back. Benoit Plord is 29 back, and 35 back is the number 36 of Jack Gasalt. I'm sorry if I am mispronouncing your name, Jack. I am very, very sorry if I am. And then that's pretty much all that's still left in the battle for that. The rest of the list is Doug Cady, Larry Ingram, David Lawson, Yvonne Gauthier, I believe, and I apologize if I botched your name too. And someone's way out of line up here next to the wall, coming in 3. They're all checking up a little bit back here.
That would be. Oh wow, they are. Oh, they're into
there's
each other.
contact,
There they go.
and then there they go.
That was Dave Robbins up on the wall. Somebody just went out into the grass. That was the 83 of Dave Little.
Caution.
We are still green.
Yep, it was on the apron, out of the way, and being that it was on the yellow line, out of the way, their caution will not be called, and we will continue racing. But that's a tough break for those guys, because they started getting really close. I saw someone really close to the wall and tried to come down off of it, and they got 3 or 4 wide, a little touch, and that's all it takes when you're trying to conserve and save tires here.
Dave Little was the one who got spun down onto the infield. He has made his way back on the track, is now entering the back straight. The truck does not look too damaged, but I would imagine that his tires are
Tires
on
are
fire
probably
right now.
gone.
So
His
I would
tires are
expect him
probably
to
gone
come
now.
down pit road soon. We're going to stay on the 83 to see if he comes down pit road. He is not. He's staying on the track. So the 83, no caution called for that incident. I'm pretty sure, though, that has put a damper on his race hopes. However, that may be a blessing in disguise because he might be able to be on an off pit strategy than the rest of the field, and if he gets lucky, he might find himself in a very different position later on in the race. The truck, like I said, the truck didn't look too damaged, so he should be pretty well up to pace with the drivers.
Well, if it goes into a long run, it might be a blessing in disguise for a few laps, but he's going to have to hope and pray for a caution to come out to save him at least in the long run. Um,
Indeed.
Seems like they're trying to sell themselves out back here now, but there's really a lot of side by side action up here from Sean Prime on back, and now they're actually battling up there for looks like it's fifth position.
Robert Lucier on the bottom. He's three wide behind him between Jim Gowd, Dave Melson, and Jeffrey Elliott in the 56. Well, the three wide at the line. Looks like Elliott's going to take the position away. He's got fourth place now. Melson's still stuck in the middle. He's going to go three wide again. This time, Benoit Plourde on the bottom in the 87.
Grant Wesley's up here trying to make a charge on the high side. He's trying to make that high side work for him to gain some positions. He's right behind Jim Gloud now, and it looks like he's going to go to the inside line now instead of staying on the outside, where it seems like it's been working for him pretty well.
Grant Wesley is your points leader, so he has made a huge charge up to the front of the field. As you mentioned, that all these chase drivers have to start at the back of the field and make their way up. He is currently the highest running of those. Right behind
Jim
you,
Glad almost came down right across Grant Wesley's nose there, and that would have been really disastrous.
I saw that as I was backing up. I was gonna go take a look at some other trucks, and wow, that could have been a very serious incident. And kudos to them for keeping it together.
And you're
John,
talking, you were just talking a moment ago about how they start in the back. I mean, that's one of the things I actually applaud about this series over here is that if you like before the playoffs start, if you finish in the top three, I think top three or top five, then the next race you are D and Q, you have to start in the back. This series makes you have to earn every little spot and every inch to actually show that you're worth, you know, that you actually deserve to be there. And I love the competitiveness, how they make all the start in the back and work their way forward and everything else. Because I've just been an amazement in the Talladega, in the Talladega Challenge Series, watching these guys every week start in the back, and for some reason, like not even halfway up, they're already up in the front, leading and dominating. It's just great that they've got this rule in place, and it's really interesting to see how it works. As we are getting ready to have a possible battle for the lead, Richard Martin is going to the inside currently of the 62 of Ronald Louisier, and he's looking for more.
he is indeed Richard Martin sneaking up behind these drivers. He is right now in a battle right now between Lucier for that second position, but so far at the front, we haven't talked much about him because there's been other things going on. But Andre, is it Mangion or Mangion? I don't want to. I don't want to
I'm
butcher
not
it.
sure if it's Mangion or Mangion. I'm not really 100% sure. You'd have to ask Seth that because Seth is pretty much more of an expert on the last name than I am, and I do apologize if I botched that, Andre. It's my fault if I did, and I'm very sorry.
I apologize in advance for any names that I mispronounce. The 27 of Andre Mangion, we're going to call him tonight. If I got that wrong, please let me know and I will adjust it for the next race. But the 27 has been leading the last few laps, and like we said, we've been focusing on other things happening on the racetrack, but he's been quietly leading this race, and so far he's been doing it in dominating fashion. And now,
Yeah, after Dave Nelson lost the lead, he got to the front and he pretty much just stayed up there the whole time. And I'm looking at Manny D right now. Manny D seems to be slowing down just a little bit. I'm looking at lap times. They seem to.
whoa!
It's really starting now with the tire wear.
We were just talking about how he was having a very commanding lead, and he slipped up the racetrack. Andre Mangyan did. He got loose or tight, or he had some understeer, and he went up and almost tagged the wall. He has fallen back and now being challenged for the fifth position. But tough
And
to rate.
real quick, look who's in second, ready to pounce on that lead. It's the point leader, Grant Wesley. It didn't take him that long to get up here. It only took him about 20 laps, and we haven't even hit pit stops yet.
Yeah, he has been very much on a charge as he has made his way into the second position, not too far behind. Also, we have the 15 of Sean Prime, who has also been on on a charge, but he hasn't really come up as quickly, or he has come up as quickly as the 88 has, but he is very
He's
content
been
to
in
run in
front of the
seventh right
88
now.
most of the time until the past few laps where Grant was able to pass him. And Sean Prime, he's only 3 points back of Grant Wesley right now.
Yeah, he's quietly waiting in the seventh position. Um, Not sure if he's content to run there at the moment or if he's just running there uh, patience. And
Well,
behind him, you have the 11.
I'm
Oh,
really surprised to see Robert Falcon back here running in 19th. And usually he would be a little bit more. He likes to run the track instead of worry about everyone else. He's one of those guys who's patient and just lets the track come to him, and he doesn't care about anyone else except for the track. He's not worried about points right now. He just wants to slowly mind his own race in the moment and get up there. I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't, gotten up there as much as I would have thought he would have. But he's just, I'm guessing he's not liking how it's feeling, or he's just trying to race his race and be patient.
that is very true because we're coming up. The pit window is open. It has been open for the last two laps. So we should see them come onto pit road anytime now.
And
Uh,
Anthony, you know
Grant
what I'm
Wesley
worried
takes the
about?
lead.
Anthony, you know what I'm worried about?
What?
If these guys have a little bit of tire wear, and they're all going to come in at the same time at 65 miles an hour on pit road, slamming on the brakes. I'm wondering what would happen because it's going to jam that whole list up.
We'll have to see how they get onto pit road. I was watching them in practice, and they seemed to be able to get onto pit road very easily while they were doing their practice. And I think we have a few drivers heading off onto pit road at the
The
moment.
96 of Dave Robbins has just retired, by the way.
Oh, that's a shame. He was doing okay from from the looks of it. Andre Mangyan is on pit road, followed by the 088 of Tim Nofsker. They are the first two onto pit road. Larry Ingram running at the back of the pack. There's Dave Little, who had that spin earlier on in the race. He is still on the track running 29th. We should see him. I don't know if he's made a stop yet or not, but he is just entering the front stretch. Grant Wesley leads the race. He is not coming onto pit road, and he's about to catch the 83 of Dave Little. So this could be very interesting as Nofsker comes off of pit road. Here comes Wesley and the pack. I don't know if anyone else just made their way onto pit road or not. Yes, they did. Manny D comes down pit road, but that is it. So pit window is they have a spin on pit road. Larry Ingram has spun coming onto pit road in the 28.
And it looks like Grant Wesley is going into. There got some people slowing down now. There's going to be more coming in this time by.
I have a feeling that this
Grant
larger
Wesley's
pack.
coming in. The leader slowing down off of 4. He's going to make his way to the pit road.
58 stays out on the track. I think somebody
And
else.
Grant
Whoa.
locked him up coming in. I saw that smoke all over the place with him.
Several drivers locked him up coming onto pit road. So far, everyone looks like they've gotten on okay. We have the largest group of car or trucks we have seen come onto pit road thus far.
Well, this right here will cycle the lead back over to. I forget who the leader is currently at this moment.
Jeffrey Elliott is now the interim leader of the race. And back there, you see the 11 truck going underneath the 15. That is Jeff Zupta. He is also a chase driver, as some of the drivers stay out, including the
I do want to say I am really surprised you use that word. That's the first time I've ever heard anyone say interim leader while
interim leader
while they're pitting. So congratulations for using that word.
Well, sometimes that these drivers, once they make their stop, they can come out as the leader, but most often than not, some of these drivers are just in the lead for a little while. But
Well, I mean, I'm thinking about how they're pitting right now. You've got Grant that just came in a lap ago, and then you got some of these guys that are coming out. I mean, I'm not sure if I would rather come in late or with like in the middle of the pack instead of coming in early, because early that means your tires are pretty much worn. If you're with the pack, you can actually pull away just a little bit more because you've got that draft effect going on. But at the same time, you come in too late, that's too much time you've lost because everyone else who's pitted, they're in a pack, they're going to run you down. So I'm wondering if it's risky to stay out as long as a few of these guys have.
Sean Prime, I think, is the only chase driver who stretched it that far.
What I think it's Dante because Dante's two
Oh, Dante
seconds fast.
Ricci. Well, Dante Ricci is behind him, so he's a chase driver also. Him and Sean Prime are the two that have stretched it the farthest, it seems. Because Bob Simonara, he's the pole sitter. He just made his stop coming back onto the racetrack. What Grant Wesley should cycle around as the leader of the race. He crossed the line fifth. By the time they get to the back stretch, he should be in the lead and have a pretty large one.
I
And he
mean,
does.
he did lock him up coming into pit road, so I'm wondering if he got a black flag because if you get a black flag, you have to come back in and serve it. And I'm hoping that he didn't, but I'm sure a lot of drivers are hoping he did.
A few drivers did lock them going on to pit road. There was a lot of 11s happening. But he seems to be, if he has a black flag, he hasn't come down to serve it yet. But he does cycle around as the leader. I think he did slow it down enough to get on the pit road.
It might be one of those tracks that evens out after a while if you play with the throttle enough.
Yeah.
It
Wesley, your
seems,
leader.
it seems like everyone's going to be on the lead lap. I'm looking at the scoring loop right here. It doesn't show the 028 and the 083 of Larry Ingram and Dave Little a lap down yet. So
There will be a lap down truck in a moment if they catch Little, because they have caught him on the front straightaway. To the battle for the lead between Andre Mangian and Wesley is happening. It
oh,
looks
he's
like
going to use Wesley as a pick.
he is totally. Well, I don't know because he's on.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
there
it
it is.
is. They look like they're the same truck too.
Whoa!
Oh,
Whoa! Mangian went up the
almost
track.
contact there.
Either Wesley came down or Mangian went up. That was almost almost contact between first and second. That could have been bad because they were coming out of turn two, and there would have been nowhere for the guys behind them to go.
And you saw how the 27 saved that. I mean, that's just incredible coming off that corner sideways like that. He saved it, and at the same time, he gave enough room to the leader because he knows that the leader, Grant Wesley, is battling for a championship. Very respectful and very commendable about that move.
Very good, as they do put Dave Little lap down, so he is now in the mix of this pack and can be used as a pick if these drivers so choose to do so.
Dave Little's fighting back too with it.
He is. He's not going away. I don't know how fresh his tires are. I don't know if he stretched them as far as these guys did, but he is not seems to be that much slower than the rest of these drivers. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. He would be a recipient of a lucky dog if a caution came out, though.
Now, looking back here with the rest of the pack, the pole sitter, Bob Seminara, he's fallen way back here. He's currently running around the 18th position right now. So that little mishap early on where a lot of people passed him, he just has not been able to capitalize, and there is a pretty big gap between him and the leader. He's 9.5 seconds back. So that those pit stops and falling back, that really botched up this whole field. Now we've got several groups running together. They all are praying for a yellow to come out right now.
Indeed, they are. Let's go through the field and show you where your top six in the point standings are. Remember, coming up next week is the final race of the season, and if I'm not mistaken, these points do not reset. So whoever finishes the race, well, it depends on where these guys finish. Someone could have a significant lead going into next week, and that could be a huge momentum boost. So we're going to take a look and see who's running where as far as the standings go. Your points leader, Grant Wesley, is leading the race right now. So he's in the best position possible to be in, and he's led a good chunk of laps. So if he can come out with the most laps led and he's already got a bonus point for leading the lap. If he can come out with the most points or most laps led, then that could be another huge boost to his championship hopes. In second place, in third place scored. Sorry, I thought that was the lap down carved little. It's not. In the third place scored
You're
is
gonna get
Sean
little
Prime.
hopes up high, so be careful.
I know. In third place scored is Sean Prime. He is currently fifth in nope, he that's where he finished last week. He is second in the standings. Um doing very well this race, running third. A lot of these championship drivers have, like we've said earlier, come up to the front and are doing very well at this current moment on lap 34. As looks like Mangyan's going to go to the lead of the race. Then we have further back. We're going to keep going through. There's the 11 of Jeff Zupta running in the 8th position at the moment. He's in a battle with the number 9 of Chris Elliott, he's actually now passed. He comes into this race fifth in the standings, so he's 39 points back. This would be a good this would be a good run for him. He's got to get up to the lead though if he wants to capitalize on every single opportunity he can. As they go 4 wide, this is not good. Oh, they settle it out though.
3 wide, 2 rows deep.
Yeah,
Now only 1 row deep. Thankfully, they settled that out.
they were nearly 4 wide at one
They're
point.
close to touching there.
Or the 6 went up a little bit. That's the 6 of Zach Brimau, I believe. I hope I didn't butcher that name too much.
27 struggling now.
Whoa, look at Andre Mangyan. He's falling back.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at with the 27 of Andre. He's back here next to the wall. He was the one, the outside of that 3-4 wide battle that we were just talking about.
Wow. He has fallen back to the pack with these drivers. That's intense. That shows you just how much the high line isn't working tonight. As we thought that it might have been as he goes 3
Well, I mean,
wide.
I thought it would, but, the only person I've seen actually make it work is the 88 of Grant Wesley.
Yeah. Speaking of championship drivers, here's Robert Balcom in the 18, running 14th at the moment. He comes into the race third in the standings, so not running too particularly well right at the moment. But if he can get up, he can also be in the
I do
fight
want
for
to
this.
point out that Sean Prime is up here leading this race right now, and he has just countered Grant Wesley's lap lead point now, so they're pretty much back to even.
All right.
Back to where they started, I should say, or almost. And we can let you count positions right now, but the bonus point for leading, they've countered each other, so now it's just where they finish at.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I cut you off, Anthony.
That's all right. That's a pretty significant change for the lead as these two continue to battle. We'll stay here for a moment, and then we'll go find the other drivers. These two are in a dogfight at the moment, coming out of 4. Now it all depends. If they finish the race right now, if the race ended, Sean Prime would, I believe, be a total of 2 points behind going into next week's race because now they've evened each other out as far as laps led points. So.
And speaking about the other series that's going on for the Challenger series that's going on there, Andre Rayom is currently leading that battle, and currently on track right now. He's currently ahead of Andre Terrace in 75. Andre Rayom in the 63. He is currently 22nd with Andre Terrace running 23rd. So the only other person that's close enough right now would be Glenn Harris in the 25th position, 2 spots back. But looking at anyone else who is actually in this battle for that, the non-playoff championship thing in the Challenger Series here, Benoit Plord. Benoit Plord is currently running, if I can find him. Where is Benoit at? He's running 13, so he's going to gain some points here on the top 3. He might actually pass Glenn Harris for 3rd, but right now it seems like it's the 2 Andres taking it to each other here in the Challenger Series, the series within a series here.
Indeed it does. Next to him is one of the championship drivers, Dante Ritchie. He is running 14th at the moment. He is 6th in the top 6, so he is 71 points behind. If he finishes in this position, I don't think he'll be mathematically eligible going into next week. I don't even think he's mathematically eligible at the moment either, unless the front 5 have something significant happen to
I
them.
really don't think he's got a chance currently, but just because he doesn't have a chance doesn't mean he can't run the last race and just enjoy it and have fun and try to go for the win, because then he doesn't have to worry about pushing himself as
That is
hard.
true.
He can just focus on one thing, and that's winning and enjoying himself. Because all these guys, even though they're running for a championship, they're all having fun.
Oh, indeed. Yeah, this is all about having fun. But I just I like pulling for underdogs. So if there's any chance, then I'm all about it. And Dante Ritchie, I believe, is still mathematically eligible if
You
things happen. But
you said something a little earlier that was funny to me. You said, "I'm sorry if I botched your name," which, it's okay for you to make a slight little error, but I have to race with these guys, so I'm the one who's got my butt on the line in a race. So I'm trying my best not to botch these guys' names so they don't wreck me in the Thursday night series here.
that's fair. I'm trying to look through the field, and I think you might have said it earlier, but I don't see Josh Metallic anywhere.
Metallic, I don't think started tonight, unfortunately.
Oh wow, so that was fourth in the standings. So he's gonna miss out on on a chance for the
Yeah.
championship next week.
Yeah, he's got a lot of things going on right now, and from what I understood last week, he was supposed to be down in Myrtle Beach, which, if he's down here, obviously he's got storms going around the beach, because Myrtle Beach is about probably 45 minutes away from where I am currently as well, so.
That is true. So our thoughts go out to Josh Metallic. Hopefully he's okay during this tropical storm that's coming through.
It's actually a hurricane right now.
Oh,
Ah,
it's a hurricane. Well, it's a
yeah.
hurricane now. It was tropical storm yesterday, but
It
looks
doesn't
like it's
really
okay.
matter, it's still close enough to be a tropical storm, but anyway.
Yeah. So we
We're going,
hope
we
that
got, we've got 26 drivers on the lead lap right now. Manny D being the last of those drivers, 38 and a half seconds back currently.
oh he's about to
We
be
got
lapped.
we got two cars currently a lap down. Dave Little and Larry Ingram, 27th to 28th right now. And you said, man, he's about to be lapped down or get close to it right now. And I think he just went a lap down.
He did. He just
And we've only got one driver out. That is Dave Robbins in the 96, which we don't know what happened, but he randomly parked it and retired. So unfortunate for him. But if we're looking at the racing, this racing's been pretty good. No cautions, very clean, very respectful. People lost it and came back, and they're minding P's and Q's. And we're going to have pit stops coming up in a few moments, because we're only at 44, coming on at 45, and Sean Prime and Grant Wesley keep duking it out up front.
This is true. This should be a one-stop race from here on out because most of these guys pitted on between lap 24 and 26. So doing the math, they should come down pit road anywhere between lap 46 and 50, and that would put them within a chance for a no, no, no. We're just almost halfway through the race. Never mind. Forget what I said. I was looking at the lap counter wrong. Uh, this is potentially a two-stop race from here on out.
Welcome back to broadcasting, Anthony. How are you?
Yeah, I'm telling you. I looked at the lap counter. I was like, oh yeah, they're almost done, and I'm like, no, they just
Oh, and they're pitting back here now. You've got Dave Little coming in, Andres coming in, Mungian's coming on. I'm sorry. And Tim's actually in pit road. He led the pack on pit road that time.
the Monaro almost spun going on to pit road. So did Godfrey. I saw them both get out of shape. Dave Little, who is a lap down, has come down pit road. Mangyan, who fell all the way back to 16th from leading the race a few laps before, has come down pit road also. And I believe that is Tim Nofsker, who is also getting his service done. He is down and away. As we go
I don't
back,
see any takers this time,
I do.
unless they're way in the back.
I saw one go down. I didn't quite see who that was. If I can go back to it. Oh. Okay, he must have been coming out on the track. Never mind. Looked like Mangyan got a little bit out of shape, but he was just coming back onto the track. That was Andre Charist in the 75 who came down pit road last time, and behind him was Manny D, who also.
And Tim's back here trying to get his lap from Grant Wesley, and Grant's going to have to go on another lap around.
That is true. He has got the freshest tires, just Oscar, but out of all these drivers, he's trying to maintain his lead lap position, but
The
doesn't really.
draft on that high side is where it's going to be at, and as you see, Grant's a little bit higher up, trying to conserve a little bit of tire. But like you said, Tim's got those fresh tires, so he should be able to easily get that lap back shortly.
Indeed, he will. Will Wesley be able to clear Oscar and be able to get
It
on pit
looks
road?
like Grant's going to be able to clear him going into three here in case he needs to pit.
That
I
is
think that
true.
is the case. I think I hear Wesley slowing down here.
Yeah, here he comes. So the leader peels off pit road.
Sean Prime stays out to lead another lap.
Oh, he locks him up getting on the pit road. Behind him is Dave Melson, who is coming down also.
Larry Ingram, I believe, just came down pit road as well. Dave
Yeah.
Nelson's on pit road, as you aforementioned.
Stefan Martel on pit road. Larry Ingram.
I mean, aren't you impressed about how this league works? About how they all come down in a tight, narrow pit road. I mean, it's not really that narrow, but you get what I mean. They come down, no issues. They leave, no issues. The track, no issues. I love these guys in these series because you know they know how to race and their quality and their style. You know, you can always expect a really good time without having a whole bunch of cautions.
That is true. Sean Prime has just come down on pit road. Yeah, they seem to have a very respectable pit road etiquette about them, and that's something that can be respected. As
And,
certain leagues
and,
don't
and
have
no,
that.
no offense to other leagues, but you know, if they were to, you know, at least watch how these guys do it, they might learn something about how to run, you know, a little bit easier and a little bit better and simpler on their leagues, and they wouldn't be wrecking so much, you know.
Sean Prime, 4 tires and fuel, and he's down and away. We're gonna go back and see who else might be takers on pit road this time by. Whoa, there we go. Robert Balcom, a championship contenders on pit road.
Jeff Soup does the leader right now, and now he just lost the lead to Zach Ramau, I believe is how it says his name. Jeffrey Elliott's moved into second.
Dante Ritchie on pit road, B4 tires and fuel. Jeff Zupta is on pit road, 4 tires and fuel for him, and he's down and away. Looks like
And
he's
like we said, Jeff Soup just stayed down. He led that lap, so he's got an extra bonus point there too for the championship chase here.
all right. So it's coming down to crunch time in the championship. These drivers seem to like to be duking it out.
I
Who would
haven't seen
be
Balcom lead either, and he's labeled up in fifth, but he's probably going to fall down based on that pitting. But
that
I mean,
appears to be the last group that pitted.
a
So Zup,
lot of drivers on the lap down list now trying to get their laps back.
here comes Prime. He's going to take the lead back. So yeah, these drivers were the last of the cycle. And it looks
Heights
like
three
they're
wide on the backstretch. They clear him.
that was intense. It's always scary when you see drivers come up that are much faster than you, and you know that you're coming off and merging back onto the racing surface, and all of a sudden you see a train of trucks that are much quicker than you come by, and you're forced into a 3 wide situation. And luckily they got out of that.
And Sean Pryor was kicked up to the high side. He's falling back now. He's right behind Grant Wesley, battling him for position back here now.
Tim
And
Nosker.
Tim's the leader now. Remember, he was the one of the first drivers to come in the pit road, the pit, and he's up front leading now, along with Jim Glad running in third according to the scoring loop by last time by.
That was a major leapfrog from where he came down. I believe he came down somewhere between 12th and 15th, and now he's
And there's smoke on the track. Yellow flag is out.
yellow is out.
Wonder what happened this time. I'm sorry I didn't see that. I was focused on a different driver here.
I didn't either. It looked like it was out of turn 4, so that leads me to believe that somebody might have spun going on to pit road, or maybe somebody got tagged. I'll have to go back and take a look, as they are slowing down on the backstretch. Nofsker is your leader. Second place will be Jim Gloud, who has been up towards the front before, but
He's been really quiet, just not really making a lot of noise, but he's been lurking there, just out of the way. And it looks like he's going to spoil the fun for the championship contenders, along with Tim and Dave Nelson up here in the top 5. Right now, it's Tim Nosker, Jim Gloud, Dave Nelson, Grant Wesley, Sean Prime as your top 5, as we are under caution, and we will figure out what happened on the replay.
seemed like something pretty simple. And we see smoke in turn 4. We'll have to see what exactly happened to bring out this yellow. Question being is, was it a solo car spin, or hopefully no one got too damaged? We'll see the time of caution. Have to get it up to the point of the time of caution.
While you're looking for the
Oh, I see it. It is the 15 of S. Kurrigan. Like,
Kerrigan went around.
yeah, we're gonna see. So into turn 4, Kurrigan was running the bottom of the racetrack, and I think he was trying to get onto pit road, or if he tagged the apron. Okay, he tagged the apron and got loose. He was underneath. He started getting loose before. Okay, I thought there was contact initially, but it doesn't look like there was any contact with the. Uh, that's Bob Seminara. Bob Seminara did run up the track and tag the wall. So looks like Kurrigan got loose onto the apron and spun up, and he hit the wall hard coming out of the spin. But pretty much a solo car spin. 2 cars involved, and it's tough to say if one had any contact with the other, but I don't think so. But that is why we are under yellow on lap 52.
And to let you know, a few drivers stayed out the first time by on pit road, and then some of them are coming in this time, and you've got more people staying out. Grant, I believe, is staying out along with Tim, Oscar, and Sean Prime. I believe Dave Little and Manny D are going to be the 2 lucky dogs here. And with the way this works is, if you are a lap down or 2 laps down or whatever, and you're the first 2, and you weren't involved in the incident that took place, you would be eligible for the lucky dog. So 2 drivers get their lap back, and it should be Dave Little and Manny D.
Indeed, and they get back on the lead lap, and if those trucks aren't running too much off the pace, they might be able to maybe get up and contend for a win.
Yeah, this is a big break for those guys back there.
Indeed, it is. Grant Wesley is now the leader after I believe you said that some drivers came down and some did not.
I believe Grant and Sean were the leaders when no, actually Tim I thought was the leader, and then Tim apparently pit as well. So you got Grant Wesley and Sean Prime, the top 2 once again.
Jeffrey Elliott is now running in 3rd. Chris Elliott in the 4th position, and in 5th will be Jeff Zupta, who is doing really well.
If Grant Wesley and Sean Prime get really aggressive or something, Jeff Zupta's in the prime position to gain the most out of this situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I've been kind of nervous seeing these drivers get so close together, because one wrong move, like you said, and
looks like Grant's coming. Is Grant? No, I thought Grant was coming in. I'm sorry. He's just clutching and playing around with the throttle here.
Yeah, they're letting the lap trucks get by. That will get the lucky dog. Dave Little and Manny D, as you said, will get the lucky dogs. There they go to reclaim their laps. 1 lap to go before we go back to green. Pace truck will lead them around for one more time. We'll go back to green on lap 57 of 88. So we're getting close to 30 laps to go. I'm sorry, yeah, 30 laps.
And you do realize, with them having between 20 to 25 laps on tires and all, after going 30, you said we're going close to 30. They're going to have that one more pit stop, and it's going to be crunchy close to the end of this race.
Now, do you think that those drivers that pitted will try to stretch it all the way to the end? That's a long way to go, and we've only seen them be able to go anywhere between 24 and 26 laps. So they're going to have to do some major fuel. They're going to have to save at the minimum 5 laps of fuel. And I don't know if they could do that.
I don't think that's possible. It's truck physics, CTS physics, they're all going to have to pit at least one more time. I honestly, they're going to pit one more time. But the people who just pit, what they're hoping for is either a random caution to come out, or they'll be able to pit with the main group now, right here. If they were in like a bad position beforehand, they know they can go an extra lap if need be.
Indeed, that is the case. They are. We should see them with fresher tires be a little bit quicker midway through the run, as their tires will be fresher than the ones that did not pit. Um, but like we said, fuel looking close. We're about to go to green. It's in Grant Wesley's hands, and he takes green.
And
We're
they
back
stack
underway.
up back here.
They did. Oh wow, the 11
Everyone's
on the
good.
bottom.
Everyone's good, but someone did not get going, and I'm guessing it was a slow start for one of the drivers as they are spinning out side by side, 3 wide up there. It looks like.
Nearly 4 wide, almost between Novsker, the 51 of Bob Lachance, and they
Oh,
go
there we go.
around.
They're wrecking off in the backstretch.
Novsker
Caution will
around.
wave. Dante Ritchie is involved in this. One of the
Uh,
championship contenders.
there's Benoit Plord also involved.
Robert Balcom's involved, and he's another championship contender as well.
Was he involved or did he slow down?
It looked like he went around. He was the first driver I saw go around.
Okay. Bob Lachance was involved in this one. Caution out one more time. Second time today. We were just talking about them too, how they kind of almost went 4 wide and out of turn one, or out of turn two rather.
Yeah, someone on that restart didn't get going. They were checking up back there, and I went to go see what was going on back there. And just as they started going into 1 and 2, they were going 3, like you said, almost 4 wide back there, going off with 2 to the backstretch and make slight contact with someone. You can't pinch next to the wall. You're trying to stay off the wall and trying to give each other room. And you know how these restarts are, Anthony. When you get a restart going, they're really scrambling for position to get everything they can to set themselves up in this final little stretch for the last pit stop.
Indeed. So, and to me, it seemed more like a racing deal. There were too many trucks in such a confined space. They were able to kind of make it work. Here's a replay of it. Bob Lachance in the middle, 3 wide, and it's hard. Lachance came up. There was no room for Dante Ritchie to go. He simply ran out of racetrack, came up and hit the wall, came down into Lachance, and then just clipped the back end of Novsker. And Lachance went down and tagged the 18 of Robert Balcom, so that's how he was involved. Further up, Ronald Lucier just squeaks through, so he should be all right. These two,
Did the 28 of Larry Ingram get by that?
I haven't seen.
He would be the red truck,
I
dark
believe
red truck that looks like the Folgers truck from the old Tim Richmond days.
John Godfrey got involved. He got tagged. Glenn Harris got through. I believe he did. Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is, if Larry Ingram got through without any contact whatsoever, he will be the lucky dog this time, and we'll have everyone back on the lead lap.
Looking for him to make sure. I haven't seen him, so I'm assuming he did. Benoit Plord went around. Yeah, there he is, Larry Ingram. He did get by.
Did you say that Robert and Robert? I know I saw Dante get contact, but did Robert get a lot of massive contact, or do you think he should be okay because it's moderate damage? So that's at least a plus.
Robert Balcom got a little bit. He got tagged going down when Lachance came down, so there might be some front end damage. But if there's not too much aero damage, he should be on the pace.
And everyone seems like they're wanting to pit now to get those fresh tires and a little bit more fuel. But I'm guessing that a lot of these guys back there, I'm hoping that they'll be careful on this next restart and try to actually get going like normal without trying to be too aggressive, because we saw what just happened with the aggressive side. I mean, they're all wanting that position. Less than 30 to go now. They really want to set themselves up for the last pit stop, because if you set yourself up correct for that last pit stop and be with the pack, you have a chance, and nobody wants to be left out of that.
Indeed.
The higher up you go, through the field at that point when they all pit. It just improves your chances, so you won't lose the pack in case there is a gap between the pack that forms. But I mean, it's lap 60 going on. We're about to complete lap 60 and start 61, and that's going to put us really, really close to 28 laps. And I don't know if they can save 2 to 3 laps here.
Something, well, I was about to touch up on that. Something that this benefits is those drivers who came down pit road under our last safety car. And I don't know, maybe if they clutch it enough, they may be able to save some fuel, especially if we have a few more yellow periods come out. They might.
I'm gonna cut you off and let you know real quick, Anthony, that my power has started flickering just a tad bit, so just be aware of that.
We'll make a note of that. Uh, as Jess is also going through the hurricane as it comes. Uh,
Actually, the eye is about to come onshore in like a little bit, so it's gonna be onshore really close to me. But anyway, trying to do my job here and do the broadcast. So
doing a very good job, also.
no,
Uh,
considering you're actually calling it a safety car when this is not open wheel, I'm just pointing that out.
I'm just saying, like,
Habits with Ralph Mason.
other motorsports leagues call it safety car. I feel like we can slip that in here.
Yeah, you really want Ralph Mason back. We get it. We get it.
Aye. Grant Wesley, the leader, is the lights are out on our pace truck. Um, we'll be on lap 62 of 88, so getting close to still north of 25 laps to go. So again, those drivers that came down pit road under our last yellow period are still close. We're still eyeing them to make sure to see if they can maybe stretch it to the end. It's going to be super, super close if they can.
And
John
before we
Prime.
before we go green here, I want to point out that usually the leader has picked for whatever lane he wants to be in. You said that the inside is preferred lane. The last couple of restarts, I've seen the leader always pick that bottom. So they want to be on that bottom on this restart in a very, very, very bad way, so they can get that little boost to jump the outside line, so they can command it.
Indeed. So, Grant Wesley, Sean Prime, your top two. As we get ready to go back to green, green flag is out, and wow, they left back here. They left the 72 of Jim Gloud in the dust. He had a very bad restart. It looks like he's going to get swallowed up by the sixth.
And they're going 3 wide into turn 1. I think they're going to settle it out side by side here.
Hey, dude, Jeff Elliott was about to be in the middle of a 3-wide situation. Are not. Chris Elliott comes up to third place, and Prime and Wesley are 1 and 2. Let's check the back of the field to make sure that everyone got through okay. It looks like they did.
It looks like Tim's. I'm not sure what's going on with Tim Nosker here. He's slow. He's already lost 2 or 3 spots to people on the high side past him.
Might have got some wheel spin coming out onto the restart.
I mean, he's still losing time here. He might actually have something wrong with his 088 truck here.
That's very true. Looking back here, wow, Jim Gloud has fallen back. Well, actually, that's 8th position. Never mind me. They're all 3 wide for a minute between Lucier, Firmau, and Dave Melson. They have settled it out to 2 in single file racing now.
Oh, there's a truck way up high. That's the 08 of Glenn Harris in the wall.
Harris is in the wall. It looks like he has got off the wall and he will continue on, but that was very close. Like he is continuing on nice and easy. Nofsker has fallen back. I mean, he was involved in that last incident, so he's probably well off the pace. Some of these drivers who were also involved in the last yellow incident are back here.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking about how Glenn Harris said that. I mean, if you think about it, Anthony, Glenn Harris has to be lucky this isn't like Dover where you're up in the wall and it's like Velcro and all of a sudden you slide coming right off. He's lucky he was able to keep it up there and not spin out or anything.
That is true. These are very wide and long sweeping turns here in Michigan. As Sean Prime takes the lead as they go almost 3 wide behind. Up into second comes Jeffrey Elliott. He is taking the position away from the 88, but looks like Wesley is having none of it, and he's going to come back and try to get the position back.
I'm looking back here at Terry Bombard in the 10. I'm really surprised to see him back here. Usually he's up front. I'm guessing he's just running his race. I mean, it's rare that I don't see him up in the front. He just might be having a bit of a difficult time, or he's just chilling out and waiting to see what happens here. They're three wide here in the middle of this, the start finish line here. You've got Bob Sonera, who was the pole sitter, and they're really squirrely here. It looks like they're going to sell it back to side by side now. They get it all sorted out. As we go back into the backstretch here, it looks like Grant Wesley and Sean Prime, they just
Oh,
cannot figure out what they want. Grant squeezed Sean really close to that wall there.
Bob Seminara got wicked loose coming out of turn 2. He slapped the wall. He's managed to hold on to it, and they settle it back out. Going up through the field, another driver that we haven't seen running in the top half of the field much is Jack DeSalt. He is coming up through the field. He's running in the 13th position at the moment. He has got a nice little run going, and he looks like he's charging his way through the front. Again, we haven't seen him up in the top half of the field very much, as well as Terry Bombard, as you mentioned earlier, as they're getting really close. And here's Robert Bauckham. So that damage didn't seem to affect him much, as he's back in 12th and he's actually making up positions.
And remember what I mentioned earlier about him. He doesn't really care about the points or where everyone else is running at that moment. All he wants to do is just run his race in the moment and just worry about how he can just feel the track and get up to the position that he needs to get to. I'm watching Stefan Martel back here in the 57 get really close to the wall for a moment. Luckily, he was able to keep it off, and he's right behind S. Kerrigan in the 15. Dante is apparently still hanging on to this pack, just barely at this moment. But I mean, I don't know what's happened to Tim Nelson. He's completely off pace now. He's falling really hard. Jim Glau's looking for second over Grant Wesley, and Jeffrey Elliott. So he's trying. I don't know if he's actually ever won a race or not. I don't know his career stats because he's recently come back over to the Talladega Super Speedway Series. So I haven't really got a lot of information on Jeffrey. But it's good to see him up near the front along with Jim Glaude, who's battling for the lead now, going off with two.
Here comes Jeff Zupta up into the fourth position, challenging for the third underneath Wesley. Jeff Zupta won last week at Infineon, so he is looking to maybe go back to back with his wins. I'm not sure where he placed the race before that, but like I said, he won last week, so he's looking to go back to back, winning at
And definitely
Sonoma
gain some
and here.
positions if he does.
Yeah, exactly.
See
Yeah,
some
he
points
will.
here.
He will gain. He's running fifth right now in the point standings, 39 points back from the leader. Wesley is a guy he's underneath at the moment, and into
And
the
they're
lead.
side by side, several rows deep back here. They're not giving out anything. Dante is trying to battle right now for 13th on the outside of the 36. I mean, Dante
Three
got
wide
involved
for
in that
second.
incident earlier, and look where he's at now.
3 wide for second between Wesley, uh, Supta, and the
Oh, and there's a
56.
car on the apron here. Using the apron to their benefit over here.
Indeed, they are getting really loose going through here. Now we're 3 wide again. Looks like they settled out. Prime was in the middle for a minute between Wesley and
Now,
the 13.
now, Anthony, remember what we just got through talking about. Oh, looks like someone barely tagged the wall up there. Looked like it might have been Grant, but I highly doubt that. But it could have been. But I want to point out that it's lap 71. We're coming lap 72. They're going to be really close on the edge of having to pit for fuel. So I don't know if they're going to be able to make it all the way or not.
Indeed, we are underneath 20 laps to go. So some of these drivers that did stay out, mainly Wesley and Prime, are going to be they're definitely not going to be able to make it all the way on fuel. Some of the drivers that did pit, however, might be able to stretch it because we had 2 yellow periods since those. Well, we've had a half of a yellow period since some of those drivers came down, and we've had one full yellow. So if they've been able to clutch and save as much fuel as humanly possible, then they could potentially be in a position to not have to come down pit road again.
And
But
I just got some information over Whisper listening to one of my good friends, Team Audio here. Someone is 3 laps short of making it, and they're talking about a can, maybe half a can to the end, but you get the point. So there are a few of these drivers here that are short for a fact.
this is going to be a very interesting last 15 laps as we're coming close to 15 to go. Ronald Lucier and Jeff Zupa have checked out from third place a little bit. Here he comes, Jim Gloud. The draft, as we mentioned earlier, is playing a factor. No one has really seemed to be able to stretch it very far away from the rest of the pack. And we have seen where the draft has towed people in that have been 2, 3, 4 car lengths back, and no one has really been able to get away.
I do
Because now
want to
there's
point. I do want to
whoa,
point out. I do want to point out real quick that they're really getting close, really close off these corners on next to each other with the wall and everything. They need to be really careful because it looks like they're trying to pinch, but they're just staying in the draft. And you're talking about the draft and everything. I mean, with them running the draft, the leader is burning up more fuel than anyone else, really. But I mean, it's just really hard. If you back off a little bit, they're gone. I mean, and you have to try to push yourself to come back through this pack all over again just to get up. And you see them jostling left and right, high, low, trying to get in position, prime position for those last round of pit stops. Since Grant Wesley's on this bottom here, he really wants to try to get up there to the front, but I'm not really sure he's trying to actually get the lead at the moment.
ooh, there was some contact coming out between Wesley and the 72 of Gloud. That was that could have been an incident. The tow has been extremely prevalent these last few laps, as you've mentioned. They can't seem to get off of each other through the turns, and
Stephon Martel is back here in the 23rd position, and I think he's technically the last one that's quote unquote labeled as a part of this pack here. I want to bring up the point that Robert Balcom is now running in 8th position. He's in the top 10, so now he's made his appearance in there. And you've got Andre in the 27, Andre Mangyan that we were talking about earlier, and it looks like someone left the wall up there pretty hard off the turn 2 in the backstretch.
someone's blinking and shifting back there, so there might be some internet issues. Whoa, we got a truck checking up. That's Gloud checking up, almost getting into the side of Prime, and oh, the 6 almost got into Prime. And all of this is happening as Wesley goes underneath Gloud. All this is happening while first and second have kind of checked out and are running their own race at the moment.
And Andre, like I was saying, Andre Mangyan in the 27, like I said. Oh, there's a wreck up here in turn 1. There's 2 cars involved. Or 2 trucks, I'm sorry.
That would be the 711 of John
Godfrey.
Godfrey and the 43 of Richard Martin.
And there's another truck up here off of 4 up against the wall. Don't know who that was.
That would be the 51 of Bob LaChance. Well, that just blows away every fuel saving strategy that we were talking about.
Yeah, and now it's going to be all out completely. Now, the question is, you come by. I mean, I'm sure Grant and all these guys are going to come by the first time. They get fresh tires first and foremost. But
Oh, of course.
I mean, it's going to jam this whole issue up on this restart. And when we go back to green, everyone's going to be fine. We've seen what happens if they get a little bit aggressive, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens on the restart. But I'm guessing you were going to bring out the replay then, Anthony, and let's see what brought it out.
Not at the moment. I want to follow these guys down on the pit road because everyone is going to come down pit road. I want to see who can come out first because whoever comes out first might have significant advantages. We've seen the leader on the inside line never really leaves outside the top 5 once they take the restart. So want to see how much strategy we're going to see. Are we going to see some 2 tires? How much fuel they're going to take? Because maybe some of these drivers will go for 2 instead of risking 4 and take less fuel in order to gain track position. So this is going to be really interesting to see, especially because we have a lot of our chase drivers up here. Azupta comes in, Wesley is in, everyone finding their pit spots. Bob Simonar stays out. I think he's a lap down though. Jeffrey Elliott's in. All these drivers are in. We're going to see who can come out first? Melson is down on pit road.
I'm on pit lane 1 cam here, and looks like here they come.
Here they come. It looks like it's gonna be. Who was that?
Oh, someone got really loose in pit road here.
That is
Grant,
Jeffrey
what?
Elliott comes out the leader.
Grant Wesley, I mean, I was hoping that Grant would execute some really perfect strategy along with the 015 of oh my gosh, I'm going Sean Prime here.
Jeffrey
And
Elliott comes out the leader. Andre Charist is in second. And then Jeff Zupta is in third.
And I think that these guys probably took 2 tires only.
I'm willing to bet so. Yeah, Grant Wesley behind Jim Glaude. It looks like everyone pretty much is in a normal position, except Nofsker has jumped all the way from 20th up to 6th.
Ronald Luzier is up here trying. I'm guessing he's getting his lap back or something because he's flying up here on this high side. But he's not labeled a lap down.
As the lap traffic comes down to pit road, we're going to take a look and see what happened to bring us under yellow. As Bob Simonara, I'm sorry, is your leader. He didn't come down at all, I don't think. But we're going to go take a look at a replay and see what brought out this yellow flag. It was a 2-car incident in turn 1, it looked like. Have you been able to hear anything on the radio, Jess? Is that
The only thing that I just got told was the 62 of Ronald Luzier after leaving pit road spun, and that's why he was flying on the high side, passing everyone to get his position back. But I'm not hearing anything specifically regarding the wreck itself.
Gotcha. We'll take a look and see what happened as soon as we can find it. What brought out the yellow flag.
The first thing I saw was in turn 2.
Yeah, the first thing was in turn 2, and it seemed to be... Oh, okay, I see what happened. It was Bob Simonara. Oh, it looked like... Oh, there was actually something that happened before that. So, as we see on the replay here, John Godfrey went... we're going to see what happened, but I think the 43 of Martin might have come up and tagged Godfrey. It actually almost looks like that Martin maybe went up. Godfrey went down a bit and Martin went up, and they tagged each other in turn 2. That's the end of turn 1.
Do you think it was the tire effect where the tires were worn out because they hadn't pit and they were starting to push up a little bit?
That could be the case, yeah. As Richard Martin goes hard into the
And
outside wall.
we are going to be going green this time by. They are in turn 1 currently right now.
All right, I'll go jump to it. Bob Simonara gets a piece of the 43 as he spins up the track. There was an incident in turn 3 also, or turn 4. I believe it was Bob Simonara that maybe spun. Let's see really quickly. No, it was not. Who was that? I remember who it was. I'm trying to remember who it was. Oh, it was LeChance, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what quickly happened to Bob LeChance. Oh, he got tagged. He got tagged by Andre Reum.
And we're about to go into 3 here, and the lead group here is Bob Seminara, Jeffrey Elliott, Ronald Luzier, Jeff Zupta, who's a championship contender, and Grant Wesley's 5th, Jim Glaude 6th, Robert Balcom 7th, another championship contender, Tim Novsker, Sean Prime, the other championship contender, and 10th is Zach Ramaz. We're getting ready to go green for 8 laps of racing to settle this out. Anthony, it's going to get hectic.
Fuel no longer an issue. The only thing that we're going to look for is tire degradation going into these last few laps. As green flag comes out, Simonara with a big jump over the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott. And it looks like they're going to squeeze him up out of the back there. We got 3 wide between the 62.
They're
The 70, I'm
really
sorry, the
pushing.
72 is Blau.
They really want to gain positions here. They know this is crunch time. They're less than 10 to go.
Oh,
If
truck
they
in the
get,
wall. The 6 in the wall.
they're 3 wide back here and down the middle of the backstretch here.
Robert Balcom also got a bit of the wall also going into the back straight, but it looks like they have
Oh,
settled
someone's on
themselves.
the apron. They're pushed up, and they save it.
Whoa! Oh, there's
Someone's
2
in the
trucks in the
wall up
wall.
here.
Jeffrey in the wall. It looks like that the 72 of Glau was in the wall.
4 wide.
This is getting intense. I don't think they're going to come out of turn. Well, they got to hold it together. They just got to hold it together.
If they have another wreck
Oh,
right
Wesley
now,
is around.
here they go.
And Wesley goes hard to the wall. Whoa!
Was that Robert Balcom that was in that one too?
Robert Balcom in it in the 83 of
They're
Dave
racing
Little
back.
came in.
They're racing back. They raced back with under 15 to go. So this might be the end of the race here. I'm not really sure, but we might. They're going 3 wide, almost 4 wide back here for position. Sean Prime is going to get second. Currently, Ron Luzier is going to lead him back to the line.
Wow, that was intense. Jack Dassault was on the apron, and we got a truck spinning back there.
And they're wrecking at the start finish line.
Looks like Stefan Martel was spinning.
Martel spins right back up on the track, and he doesn't collect anyone else, luckily.
There's another truck that was spinning, and I don't quite see where he went. And that was Zach Freemount, looks like.
Oh, wow. That was a cluster and a half, wasn't it?
Wow. Grant Wesley was involved in that incident. He was the points leader. He has fallen back to 27th. Dave Little came in and absolutely blasted Robert Balcom.
Anthony, you might want to. I don't mean to be a little bit pushy here, but I don't think we're going to go back to green. It's under it's about 5 to go right now, so I don't think we're going to go back to green. Unless I'm not sure. I mean,
we might.
If we do, it's going to be a 1-lap shootout. I would think if we do.
We might have a 1-lap shootout to decide this race. We're on 84. About to be 85 of 88.
Well, are you going to?
We're going to go look at what happened.
Okay.
We're going to go quickly take a look and see what happened. I know it was the 88 of Wesley that.
And Robert Balcom. I saw Balcom and Wesley.
Balcom got hit on the exit of turn 2. Wesley was involved when it was a 3 wide situation, and he just simply ran out of racetrack. We're going to go back and see. Quickly take a look here. Here we go. This is the incident. Wesley was in the middle of a 3 wide situation between him, Prime, and the 088 of Nofsker, but he gets tagged by the 13 of Dave Melson, which sends him up the racetrack. Now he's spinning in front of everybody, and I'll be honest, it was a miracle that most of the field missed him, but then right there you see Balcom get into him, and they both go up into the outside wall. The 84 also tags the outside wall.
I'm getting information that there might be a 2-lap shootout. It's going to be either a 2 or a 1-lap shootout. It's what they're discussing right now.
And then Little comes in and pounds Balcom.
Looks like someone's blown up here. I'm sorry to cut you off. The 15 just blew up.
The 15 is blown up.
And it was Sean Prime.
Oh, wow. That's intense. That's a huge.
So we sit here and we see that Grant, Robert, and Sean, they're all running up near the front. They're going to pretty much get really close for next week. Grant runs into a problem along with Robert. That pretty much opened the door for Sean to take advantage of the points, and then misfortune happens. So unfortunate to this driver, the 015 of Sean Prime here. That's really going to put a damper in his championship hopes now.
He's on pit road at the moment. Looks like there's no movement on pit road. He might be retiring that truck. That was a blown engine, you said.
Well, that was the report that I heard was someone blew up. What I
because
just heard was one lap left, most likely for them to get this done. They're on lap. They're currently working lap 86 right now. So
and I'll tell you who this benefits if we can go find him. Looking through here, this really benefits Jeff Zupta, who came into this race 39 points back. The two that were contending for the top two in the points, actually no, the top three in the points have just had an issue happen, and with Josh Metallic not racing in this race, Jeff Zupta, if he can get around the racetrack one more time, he will be in the best points position that you could possibly be in going out of this race. He's going to come back and bounce. He's going to be well within contention next week as long as he can get around the racetrack. We're going to make
true,
sure
but
lights are out. We are going to
we
have
are
a
going to
one
have a
lap
one
shootout.
lapper. And you got to remember, Grant Wesley and Robert Balcom, even though they were involved, they're still on the track.
Indeed, so they could make up some positions.
If there's also a slight little error by the 11 of Josuka, he might go back and it may just save the 88 of Grant Wesley and the 018 of Robert Balcom.
Indeed. As we are getting set for a one lap shootout, Ronald Lucier is your leader. Second will be Tim Nofsker, who has rubber banded around this racetrack throughout the race. He started up at the front, has fallen to the back of more than one occasion, and now is running in the second position. We'll look to see him be strong in this last lap. Dave Melson, Jack Dassault, and Bob Simonara are your top five. The round out your top 10 will be Andre Magion, Andre Remier, or
Rayum.
Rayum, my fault. Andre Rayum, who has come up out of nowhere and is now
And
running in the top 10.
look at that. Terry Bombard making his way back into the top 10 with Benoit Ford sitting there running a ninth. And like you said before, Jeff Supka in the perfect position. Hopefully he can gain some positions here and get more points on those two leaders.
Chris Elliott also is in the top 10 running in ninth. Pace Truck is in one more time here in Michigan. We're going to see some fireworks happen. Green flag is out, and Lucier got a major jump. Someone spun the tires back on the high line, but Lucier is checked out from the 13 of Melson, and he's going up to the high side. I don't know. That's not the place you want to be at, but he gets the turn in, cuts the door, going onto the backstretch.
They're side by side back here, but the battle for the win is going up there. I mean, they're all over the place back here. I mean, they're really trying to gain their positions. It looks like Benoit just slid up just barely. Oh, Rolando Rome checked up badly, and to the checker flag here, the caution is out.
They have wrecked
There was a
behind.
wreck here.
Ronald Lucier is going to win here in Michigan tonight with a fantastic run.
There was a wreck coming to the checkered.
And they have crashed in turn 3, it seems. But Ronald Lucier, who started towards the front, had some good luck thrown his way throughout the race. He will take the win tonight here at Michigan. Good run for the 62 team.
And what were we talking about? What were we talking about with Grant Wesley here?
Grant Wesley and Sean Prime did end up.
They gained a few spots.
They gained a few. We're gonna go take a look and see where everyone finished at the end of this race. Wesley, we're gonna look through the top of the on the ticker here.
It looks like Supka lost a couple of positions on that restart, unfortunately. But wow, what a race this was, Anthony! Like it had it all. It had every little thing that could go wrong happen at the last second. It really became really exciting for the end of this. Unfortunate, yes, but we got some players up here. The 36, the 63, the 10, the 27 came back and rallied back. Everyone that we really were commenting and talking about earlier on that disappeared throughout the race, they came back and it looks like they pretty much commanded the top 10 at the end of this.
Indeed, Jeff Zupta finished the race in 12th. So still a significant gain over the top two in the standings. Robert Balcom, we're looking through here trying to see where he might have ended up at the end of tonight's race. He was also running. He was one of those three drivers involved or one of the two chase drivers involved in the last lap. Sean Prime with a heartbreak has his engine expire on him. We don't know if he got back underway. We didn't have enough time to check, but we're gonna see where he finished.
He finishes 28th, 4 laps down, unfortunately.
28th, so he did retire from the race, meaning that we're gonna see a major shakeup in the point standings going into the final race of the season. But congratulations to the 62 of Ronald Lucier. He takes the win here tonight at Michigan.
And with that being said, unfortunately, Ronald Luzier retired from the race at the last second, so we can't get a nice shot of him in victory lane. That's really unfortunate. But we want to point out that, Luzier, Ronald Luzier won, Dave Nelson second, Tim Nausker third, Jack Dassault fourth, Andre Ray, who finishes fifth, and that's going to help him in the Challenger Series brackets over Andre Cheris. Bob Seminary, your pole sitter, rebounded to finish sixth, which we didn't talk about him very often when he fell to the back, and he randomly found himself up there in sixth, so that's a really great comeback for him. Terry Bombard, who pretty much was at the back, found his way up to the front by just minding his P's and Q's. Andre Mongian rebounded to an 8th place finish at this moment, from what I can see. Benoit Plord 9th, and Chris Elliott rounds up the top 10. And as you said, we had Grant Wesley, leader going into this for the points, finishes 21st. Robert Balcom, 24. Sean Prime with the unfortunate engine expiring or whatever happened with his engine. He finishes back in 28th, pretty much near the end of the whole field. But the one person who's really happy about this has got to be that 11 of Jeff Supta in 12th. So with that being said, do you want to start getting some interviews with Tim Nausker?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's get some interviews going.
Okay.
See if we can get Nofsker in here. Let's see if we can get the winner in here, Ronald Lucier. Let's see if we can get him in here as well.
We'll get one at a time here. Let's see, where did they move everyone at? Oh, there they are. There's Tim. All right, I'm gonna get Tim up here first. Okay.
All right. Is Tim Nofsker? You got a copy?
Yes.
Tim, well, you started really well tonight, and you finished really well tonight. How do you think your car or your truck was handling tonight, and how do you think the overall race went?
Well, on that first run, I got a little crazy and burned up my tires. Fell back quite a bit. Was able to undercut the field on short pit and kept in that lead draft, top 5 pretty much. And then right before that last caution, I had decided to go on a fuel strategy, and I had saved enough gas to make it if it went green all the way, and it didn't. Then I had to change strategy again, and I took 2 tires to try to get some track position, and it all worked out in the end. I mean, 3rd place amongst all these great racers is pretty good.
Indeed, it is. Do you think your truck was handling better in the long run or the short run tonight? Because it seemed to me like some drivers favored a longer run, while some favored the short bursts of runs, especially at the end of the race where we had that pit stop or that late race yellow. How do you think your truck was handling with the way the tires were tonight?
On the second run, I did pretty well. I was able to save some tire. I mean, it's kind of a gamble. If you save tire at the beginning of the run, you're giving up track position and hoping there's no caution. And when you go on those long runs, then, those trucks came to the front. So it's really how you choose to race the racetrack. And unfortunately, I raced hard at the beginning. I raced a little easier on the second run. And toward the end, it was all out.
Well, you certainly had a great showing tonight, and we're so glad that you were able to finish the position you were. Great run tonight.
Yeah, can I give a quick shout out to you guys for doing the broadcasts? We love them over here, and you guys do such a great job. And then another shout out to Rolling Thunder Gaming. It's been around forever and a great place to race. It's like a big family over here. We take care of each other. Also, definitely want to give a quick shout out to Tony Fox. He has experienced some health issues here as of late, and I'm not sure if he's watching or not, but if he is, I want to send prayers out to him and hope for his speedy recovery. And the last but not least, another shout out to my daughter Lexi and her family who were watching tonight. They watch all my broadcast races, and I know Jackson's probably and Chloe are already in bed, but yeah, I love that they watch what I do here.
Well, those are some major shout outs, and we appreciate you racing tonight. It's always fun to watch you guys out on the track.
All right, thank you.
Tim, I have one
Thank you.
question real quick.
Go ahead,
It wasn't elaborated on earlier. But I mean, I know that he's your competitor and everything, but is Josh okay?
Josh is fine. Josh is on vacation in the middle of a hurricane
Oh,
on Myrtle Beach.
yeah, I remember hearing that from last week about the Dega Challenge. He was coming to Myrtle Beach. I didn't know if he was stuck here or if he got back or what was going on.
He is still there, and I chatted with him today on Messenger, and he's doing fine. Just watching the skies get gray and the seas get high. So, but he's doing just fine, and he'll be back next week.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll see you on Thursday, Tim,
Yes,
so I can
will.
hopefully see what we can do, and maybe I'll wreck you, maybe you'll wreck me, maybe we'll have fines and arguments, and who knows? Maybe I'll help you like I helped Dante. We'll figure that out when it comes time, huh?
All right, sounds good. We'll see you then.
All right. See ya. Okay, now let's get the runner-up Dave Nelson in here, Anthony.
All right.
Dave, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. We're talking to you again. You got to stop finishing second and third and everywhere else. We got to get you when you actually win one because you finish everywhere else. So I'm just waiting for us to pull you up when you win.
Yeah, just one spot short tonight, but second's better than last.
No kidding. It seemed like there was some really sketchy situations going into or midway through the race, and we saw that the close racing going into the turns and towards the end of the race, it seemed like no one could really find any space. How were you able to manage it so well and be able to finish second place? Because it could have ended very differently a few times.
Yeah, no doubt. The only thing you could do is just hold the good steady wheels in the corners, especially there that one caution where we were 3 wide there near the end, and the guy in the middle didn't make it. But I just tried to hold my wheel steady and do what I could do. That's all I could do.
We mentioned earlier when we had Novsker in here, we were asking him about the final fuel run. He said that he was able to go green all the way to the end. Were you in a similar position, or do you think that maybe your tires would have given out before you had even gotten to the end of the race?
Tire wise, I think I might have been not bad. Fuel wise, that caution, I don't know, 2 cautions to go. I had to get fuel because I was 5 laps short. So
Oh wow. Yeah, we were speculating to see if some of the drivers who off pitted during the first yellow period, maybe they could have made it all the way to the end, but that last yellow really saved a few drivers, I'm sure.
Dave, I have to ask you something.
yep,
We saw early on that the bottom, the inside line was the preferred line, and everyone just wanted to run that line. And then toward the end of that run, we saw side by side, and a lot more drivers wanting to run that higher lane. What happened between that last run versus the first run? Why did everyone all of a sudden migrate to the high side with those like real quick 10-lap shootout there?
well, especially coming off a 2, if you're in the high line, you get a better run coming off. For starters, you keep your speed up a little more. Not only that, everybody's running the wall, so you get the draft, so you can kind of run by the guys on the bottom side if you're running the high line. That's the only advantage to the high line coming out of 2. 3 and 4, the bottom line still works the best in 3 and 4.
There was a lot of tension on that backstretch though.
What's that again? What was?
There was a lot of tension on that backstretch near that wall. I mean, I was surprised that every single lap, a lot of people were able to hold it and they weren't wrecking. We saw a few people slap the wall pretty hard, but they didn't wreck or nothing. But I mean, they were pinching. We were expecting quite a few wrecks though on that backstretch.
Yeah, if you almost throttle yourself out of the corner to keep yourself from hitting the wall. I don't think I hit the wall at all tonight, or even brushed it. But I know some guys, when you're trying to push to pass somebody on the outside, sometimes guys will just use a little bit more throttle coming out, and you just push enough and you just brush the wall. But it happens.
Well, congratulations on your second place finish, and we look forward to seeing you next week when you guys head to California. We should expect to see you do well again there too.
I hope so. California is not one of my better tracks, but I sometimes do well.
Well, hopefully you'll get a win because honestly, Dave, I don't have any problem seeing you or talking to you. But we got to get you when you win one.
Oh, that's coming sooner or later. It'll happen.
Maybe you'll beat Steve to the line, huh?
When Steve comes back.
Well, we appreciate talking to you. Congratulations on your second place finish tonight.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to give a shout out to Tony Fox and hope he's doing well and things are going good with him. It's he's a good guy to race with, and we're going to miss him here for a bit. So hopefully he'll be back before we know it.
All right. We hope that he does well, and we look forward to seeing you all next week.
Yep, thank you. Thanks for the broadcast. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right. See you on Thursday, Dave.
Yep.
All right. Now we get the race winner, the number 62 of Ron Louisier, who was able to dominate most of that last half and actually hold off a lot of these guys. So, anyway, go ahead, Anthony. It's all yours.
Well, Ronald Lucier, the winner of the race, it was a really hectic last few laps, and congratulations first and foremost on your win. Uh, how were you able to manage the last few laps? Because it was super chaotic ever since the last yellow. Well, since you had a one lap shootout, and even before that, how were you able to manage the intensity?
You speak to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For the last caution?
Yes, sir. Like the intensity that was happening the last few laps of the race, you were able to manage it and get through it. I guess how did you manage to not be involved in some of what was happening?
Um, I saved my tire all the race, and I can push a lot in the last run. When I make. Oops, that's complete.
Yeah, you certainly made your way a strong run at the end. Uh, so we've been asking this question to most of the drivers tonight. How were you able to manage the tires tonight? Because it seemed like tire wear was the hot topic throughout the entire evening. So how were you able to manage that?
I save my tire all race for every race. I try to save my tire for the end of the race.
And you were definitely able to maximize the amount of tire wear you got out of it. As you had a wicked fast car at the end of the race. Jess, you have any questions for him?
Well, I mean, I'm just really surprised and really happy to see the 62 get victory here.
Indeed, you had a very fast car at the end of the race, and congratulations on your win. You did fantastic tonight.
Thank you. And very pleased to race with the RTG. He's the best guy, and I very very happy. Thank you.
Congratulations on your win tonight at Michigan, sir.
Thank you.
Well,
And
Jess,
that was the number 62 of Ronald Luzier, who comes off a really well deserved win tonight, and that was really great to see him sit there and race and get up there. And I mean, it was someone that we weren't really expecting. We were expecting Gran or Sean Prime to take it pretty much that whole race, and what do you know, right? Right, Anthony? It had a whole bunch of surprises all over the whole race.
man, Michigan always seems to deliver some entertainment, and we definitely got that tonight. Congratulations once again to
Ronald Luzier
Ronald Luzier, yeah.
winning the race.
Wow, I had the biggest brain fart there. Congratulations once again to Ronald Luzier for taking the win. Next week they will be racing at California. It's the last race of the season, and it should be one heck of a run. And the points haven't updated yet, as far as I can tell.
And I do want to point out that we will be back on here for RTG on Thursday to do the Super Speedway Talladega Challenge Series, and then on August 11th we should be coming back here for the Winston Cup Series to do their broadcast race, makeup race that we have. That I believe I'm going to be co-commentating. I'm not sure if you're going to be there or not for that one, Anthony. I hope you are, but I know I'm going to be there. I know we got a whole list of stuff on RTG. I mean, not RTG, but FRN for Flatout Racing Network coming up with the Elite Racing Series that are running. We've got a whole bunch of other leagues that are running as well for iRacing that are pretty much done by Sam, Seth, and a few others. And I mean, we got a whole list coming up. And you know, if you want your race broadcasted and get out there or anything, I mean, just contact us. That's all I can say about that. I mean, Anthony, it was great actually commentating because I think that's the first time you and I've actually commentated together for any series, period, even offline.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic night of racing with you to watch and to commentate with.
You
And
haven't raced with me in a while, so I don't think that's going to work too well.
No, but it's been a fantastic night for racing. And again, Jessica, thank you for being my commentator or my co-commentator with me tonight. It has been a pleasure. I want to thank FRN for giving me this opportunity. I know it's a bit of a shill, but oh well.
Well, I mean, you did horrible with your Oreo Truck Series, and then you came back with a really good opener, and then you kind of disappeared. And you know, it's great that we gave you another shot.
I appreciate it. Thank you everybody for watching tonight's race at Michigan. Next week for this series specifically, we are going to be at California, so you don't want to miss it. It's the final race of the season, and the points are likely to be looking really close. It should be anywhere between a 3 and a 4-man fight for the championship for this series. Thursday night will be at the Super Speedway Series as the Talladega Challenge will be broadcasting there. Until next time, I am Anthony McCurry on behalf of Jessica Shelton. We will see you next time for more BareBones Racing. See you next time.